Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest was the most ripped man at the Arnold Australia this year. Finished in the 6th position, all the way from New Zealand. Steve Orton, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me back.
I was, I'm a conditioning guy. I was always one of the most conditioned guys when I competed back in the day, and I really appreciate good conditioning because I think that that's something you have total control over, and I think a lot of guys don't capitalize on the ability for them to get as ripped as they can. You probably brought some of the craziest conditioning I could even remember seeing in recent time. Talk to us a little bit about this Arnold Australia and what you did.
Yeah, well, I took the whole year. I competed in the Arnold Australia 2018, and then we came into this prep. I took the rest of that year off. Didn't do any other shows, and then prepped into this 2019 Arnold Australia. It's pretty much a home show for me, just a quick 3-hour flight, across to Australia.
Yeah.
In terms of my prep, nothing really had much changed what I'd done in the past. Just ran a few more higher carbs this time around because I was a little bit bigger, and we just took it week by week and put a plan in place really. So it was good. I was very, very happy with the outcome of the show and the package I brought. I spoke to a few judges from the previous year, Steve Weinberger and stuff, and they told me what I needed to work on, and that's what I did. So that they were very, very happy, and I feel that they kind of rewarded me with a better placing this year.
What did they tell you you needed to work on?
Steve pretty much came back to me and said you just need to bring a fuller look and bring the upper body up to match the legs. I've always had dominant legs over the years, so that's what I did. We were a bit more aggressive in the carb up this time around, and brought that sort of fuller look on stage. So that was the feedback, and that's what we attacked.
Well, the difference is you can carb up aggressively when you're actually in really good shape. And I think people try to carb up and they're not ripped, and then they look like a bag of water, basically. When you're shredded to the bone, there's really very little you can do wrong, aside from maybe not eating enough,
Yeah, well, I probably could have eaten a little bit more, but I usually tend to, really try and bring that conditioning, and I might sacrifice a little bit of fullness to do so. This time around, we probably put in about 600 grams of carbs over 2 days, the Friday and most of the Saturday, and then jumped on stage. Whereas the previous year, I didn't even carb up. I think I threw in about 50 to 60 grams of cyclodextrin, about an hour before I went on stage, and that was it. So totally different from last year's to this year's.
Now, when you see guys in that top 5 who beat you, who are not even close to as good conditioning as you were, they were completely, dare I say, a lot of the guys were out of shape in the top 5. Does that bother you? And what was the feedback this year from the judges as opposed to last year?
Yeah, it bothers me a little bit. It's only because I don't get the comparisons that I'm looking for. I never got compared to those guys. I never got the chance. They just had me in that second call out with the rest of the guys, and I just want an opportunity to sort of just be compared to these guys because I know I can match it with them, and I just need that opportunity. So the feedback really was, and I think it's a good thing for me, is to compete more and to be seen by the judges on the circuit a lot more. It's just a little bit hard to do that down here in New Zealand with the travel and stuff like that, but I'm aiming to be able to do that this year. The other feedback, actually none of it was based on my physique. It was compete more, get on the circuit, be seen more, so you can be judged with these other top pros. And the other one was just improve a little bit on my posing. Some of my posing's a little bit unique, some people would say, and that was it. So yeah, nothing about the physique, which was interesting.
It's got to bother you. I don't care what you say, and if you admit it or not, it's got to bother you when people say, compete a little bit more so that we can see you more, so that we won't maybe forget about you and put you in the first call and not put you in the first call out. That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah, well, I thought I might have had a bit more of an opportunity being, this is kind of a home show for me. So
Sure.
I might have had a little bit of, favoritism there with a call out, Me and Luke Sander are pretty good friends. And, last year he placed one above me. And once again, he placed one above me this year, So, he's it's like I do get call outs next to him. And it's quite good because we've got totally different physiques as well. So. But yeah, I definitely pride myself on that conditioning. I know I can get there. It's just a matter of just keep chipping away, putting on more size, and getting that kind of fullness these other top pros are able to get.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm surprised Tony didn't do this because Tony thinks outside the box. I'm surprised. I would love to have seen a Josh Lenardowitz, Steve Orton, pose down or a comparison. I mean, I think the Australian and New Zealand fans would have gone nuts for that.
Yeah, that would have been good. Well, I did get a call out next to Josh in my pro debut 3 years ago, so that was good. But he's made some crazy improvements, and I think he placed fourth. So but that would have been awesome for fans.
I mean, come on, you're in Australia. Call those two guys out just for fun. Who cares? Even if you're not even going to place you two, I want to see. They used to do stuff like that back in the 90s. They used to call out like weird comparisons. They'd call Lou Ferrigno and Flavio Bastianini, who was he was 4'10" and Ferrigno was 6'5", just because it was fun. There should be do the real call-outs and then have some fun call-outs too. Just because you never know. Plus, I always say the 6th and 7th place guys should always be compared against 4, 5, and 3, placing, because you never know. Sometimes when you put guys next to each other, you say, hey, maybe that guy does deserve to be up in it. And they usually do call outs like that. I'm surprised that you didn't get that call out that you were looking for.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I almost think they're just a little bit, nothing against the judges, just a little bit worried that, if I am compared to next to one of them, I could actually, show some of these guys up. I'm pretty confident in what I can bring, and especially, would have been nice to stand next to Rolly actually, because he hasn't obviously been able to bring that conditioning in the last few weeks, whereas I can. But I don't know. They seem to really like that full look at the moment, but we'll just see what happens in the future. We'll look to
don't sacrifice your conditioning for fullness. Never make that mistake. What did you weigh on stage?
I pretty much weighed the same as last year as well. So I'm around, in pounds, I'm about 250 on stage.
Wow, that's big. And how tall are you?
I'm about 5'9", 5'10", about 176 centimeters. So, I'm definitely, and I think my frame can hold another 10 to 11 pounds easy.
Yeah, crazy glutes and hamstrings. Obviously, that's your calling card. Now, Boston Lloyd texted me. Boston's always getting enamored with different people who have slightly different approaches to diet and preparing for shows. And he's like, you got to get Steve on because he eats high fat like you do, but he eats fruit too. Tell us a little bit about the diet you followed up to the show.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been in touch with Boston for the last sort of couple of years, and we just message now and then. And he's been really, really nice and supportive, about me. And so he obviously put us in touch for this interview. But in terms of the so thanks for that, Boston.
Sure.
But in terms of the diet, I've always been a fats guy, always. As I've gotten bigger, I've been able to introduce more carbs into the diet. And where I place those carbs is specifically nutrient timed around the workout. And then in regards to the fruit, we throw that in pre and post train, as well with the complex carbohydrates, and then prep down from there really. And
why do you put fruit in there? What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, generally speaking, it's more for the health purposes, probably antioxidants, digestive system, insulin spikes, things like that. So when I talk fruit, this prep, I was doing 100 grams of blueberries pre-train with some complex carbs, and then post-train I was doing 200 grams of pineapple.
Okay. Blueberries are not really too glycemic, so that's not too bad. And then the pineapple probably is a little more glycemic, but you have the digestive enzymes in there, obviously, for the protein.
Yeah, and it worked a treat. I kept those two quantities right up until a week out from the show, and then I obviously started my my depletion. And my depletion was actually quite long. It was 5 days. I don't, and but my fats went up to replace the depletion of the carbs. So I didn't seem to get too flat because the fats were probably close to 150 a day on the depletion.
Right. Now, what I know, you had that crazy beard and that crazy hairdo. I thought you were going to compete like that. You look like, I think we even did a little muscle in the morning on you. It was, yeah, you look like a Looney Tune. Now you look so clean cut and everything like that. You look, what made you decide to, clean it up?
Well, with my hair, it's always been the same. As I say, I've just put some product in it and slicked it back.
I got the same thing going. Don't worry about it. I look like a lunatic in the morning. I think I scare my kids when I wake up.
Yeah, in the morning it's all fluffed up, and on prep, I kind of, like everyone knows, I kind of don't really care about my appearance. I just grew the beard out. I didn't put any product in my hair, and I just went a little wild with it. Really, every ounce of energy just went straight into the prep, and I kind of just let everything else go. But on stage, I'm all, I like the clean cut look. I took the beard off, and I think it's like you've said in previous interviews and things on RX. You don't want anything to distract the judges from your physique.
Sure.
I go through phases too. I won't grow a beard again for another 2 years, and then I might do it. So, but on stage, try to keep that clean cut look. A lot of the guys on stage, obviously, no facial hair, and most of them are, just have shaved heads too. So, just doesn't distract the judges whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, obviously, they got this Indy Pro coming up this weekend. It probably would have been a great show for you to do. Obviously, a very long flight for you and probably expensive. Is that why you kind of decided not to do it? Because this seemed like it would have been a good show for you to jump in. I know Luke Sando is doing it. And, I forgot about Luke. We should have got Luke in that. We got to get Luke in the Lenardowitz, Luke Sando. We got to get all the foreign guys in there with the accents. No, just kidding. But no, Luke's going to be doing the show. Steve Kuklow's going to be doing the show. Did you think about jumping in Indy?
No, I didn't. I was actually going to go and do Arnold's Brazil, which is in 2 weeks' time from now. I didn't really think about Indy. But I've had a few. I've just decided for now just to sort of give the body a bit of a cleanse, and then have a mini off season, and then look to compete towards the end of the year. So I have a few visa issues getting into the States, so I'm just going to run through an immigration lawyer with that this year, which can take up to a couple of months. But yeah, definitely, the key is to string a few shows together while you're in shape. But never really thought about Indy, but definitely Brazil was on the cards. But, at the end of the day, towards the end of prep, I went through just some personal issues that crept up. And then obviously in terms of funding, that's the main thing. If I'm away, I'm self-employed, I work for myself. So if I'm away, there's no income coming in, and, just need that sort of support to get over there. And if I could, I would. I'd love to sort of look to even move to Australia or the US, because nothing really is sort of holding me back here in New Zealand anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. People don't realize when you're first kind of breaking into that pro ranks and starting to really make a name, money does have limiting factors, and I think that you're being smart. You're doing it, taking your time, you're not rushing anything, and your body's constantly improving. If you had to be super critical of your physique, what would you like to see improved down the road? What do you think you need work on?
Yeah, I'm pretty super critical. I think I could still, my weaker poses are really from the front. So front double bicep and front lat spread. So I think, and then obviously sort of just keeping that waist nice and narrow. I think you even brought it up. My waist, my obliques can be quite dominant and blocky, and that's just from just heavy squatting and heavy deadlifting over the past. So yeah, if I could bring that upper body up and more improve on my front poses. I think my side poses can match it with the best, and even my rear poses can too. But maybe a little bit more lats, and then fullness through the arms and the chest for those front poses. Lats from the front as well and the rear. So I think the legs, there's no issues there. 3 years ago, I had numerous people come up to me and say that they were Olympia standard legs. So it's kind of just been, making sure I create an illusion up there, keep the waist tight, and just keep on filling up that upper body to improve those poses.
Yeah. Look, I want to just congratulate you, obviously, on the sixth place at the Arnold Australia, and we're looking forward to keeping up with you. The poses, I mean, the freakiness that you're bringing to the stage is reminiscent of the Andreas Munzers of the past, and I think that a lot of people are going to want to see you a lot more. So you got to find a way to get on that stage and shock a few people and show these guys what conditioning is all about.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, if all works out, some shows around the Olympia this year, I'll be back. So thinking Tampa or even Wings of Strength in Romania. So I'm not done. I'm definitely not done for the year. And then obviously I'll hit the Arnold Australia again in 2020. So it's only going to go up from here, and you'll see me more and more.
All right, Steve. Thanks for taking some time for us, and congratulations again.
Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate it. Thanks, RX. You guys are the best, and appreciate all the time and efforts.
If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
Definitely via Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
You answer your PMs? Okay.
Yeah. So that's the Instagram. Just DM me via there. That's the best way. Or email is just steve@tmox.nz. It's good to hear from lots of people over the last couple of weeks since the show, and I've been a little bit more active with the social media. So
gotta work the social media angle, man. You gotta work it, Steve.
Well, I love all the feedback and the comments and stuff. So thanks to everyone for the support. Just a couple of shout outs just to people that have helped me out through this prep. My current coach, and he's been my coach for the last 6 years, Chris Thomas. Body Core Gym is where I work out of, and Gym Clothing New Zealand, they sponsor me with the Gasp and Better Bodies apparel over here in New Zealand. So they've supported me a lot over the years. So thanks to them, and to all friends, family, clients, and everyone else.
Well, it sounds great, guys. That's what conditioning is all about. Steve Orton, check him out. For now, we're out of time. I'm Dave Palumbo with another edition of Live With. We'll see you next time.